After an absolute banger of a finish last week at Daytona, we now come to the Lady in Black to do the dance on the track too tough to tame. Welcome to the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series on Sim Racing Media. Tony Trapasso, Jason Sawford up in the booth with you for the call on this one. And Jason, unfortunately, Mother Nature took hold for qualifying, so we're not going to be able to, well, we're going to have to, I should say, set this field up via the owner's points.
Yeah, it did indeed. It's a rain-out qualifying, so as you said, owner's points are going to be deciding the starting grid today, which, I mean, in theory, it's going to result in slightly less chaos than we may already see at this track.
Yeah, unfortunately, some of the names not being able to take the green tonight via the owner's points. Most notably, the 25 of Hermie Sadler on the outside looking in. The 77 of Dave Holmberg, Team Hertzberg's 26. We do have some subs coming in tonight, Chris Worrell being one of them. Chase Harden is in for Zach Phillips in the 66. Mark Hanna driving the 24 for Jalen Battle. Also, something to keep an eye on, hometown heroes, Chase Harden out of Somerville, South Carolina, Charles Robertson out of Knightsville, and Isaac Wilson, who currently lives in Fayetteville, North Carolina, just across the border, separating the two Cadillacs. Joining us now up in the booth, the chief cook and bottle washer of the iSNF series, Miss Rhea Ferris. And Rhea, it's been a tumultuous day already, and I don't see that getting any better for the 250 miles here tonight.
No, unfortunately, and I think it's just going to end up being Calamity Corner here at the Lady in Black tonight. You know, the fun part, it's going to be under the lights. The not so fun part is dodging the wrecks and getting caught up in multiple dumpster fires out there tonight. And I think too that it just possibly a fail to see the looking at the weather forecast for tonight. Some drivers should probably start looking at WeatherBug and some of the apps, out there available to see what the forecast is for the city that we're about to go to and try to set their practice laps accordingly. And so that way they can adjust their cars accordingly as well. But nonetheless, I think the most fun that we're going to have tonight is looking at these throwbacks, guys. It's throwback weekend for us here in ISNF. And I think just the nostalgia and just bringing back the memories of early NASCAR to some of our favorite moments in time amongst the sport in which we love is just going to be basically the good of the bad here tonight at Darlington. So
very much so. As I notice you're rocking an old Ryan Newman paint scheme on your Penske Ford tonight. Yep.
Ryan Newman, a Notre Dame grad. I have to say, though, that my Ohio State Buckeyes did beat them yesterday, so go Bucks. But, Ryan Newman, a very intelligent, very well-educated gentleman who won a lot of races here in NASCAR, and proud to represent him tonight. And I got my first dub in ISNF driving this paint scheme, so maybe it'll bring a little bit of luck. Not probably for a dub unless basically God seems to find a way, kind of like Austin Dillon did the other day at Daytona. That's about the only way he got a dub too, right? So anything can happen, but I think there's some cool ones out there, though, as we take a look around. I mean, we've got anything from Rusty Wallace to Ricky Rudd, Tony Stewart represented out there, Terry Labonte and Ricky Craven and Clint Boyer, and it's just fun to see it, guys.
Yeah, very much so. As I believe I just saw, yes, I did. That is an old Bill Elliott paint scheme on the McDonald's Ford tonight.
The 27 car, he wants it to be specifically known as a Hut Strickland / Jimmy Spencer 27 McDonald's
Fair
throwback.
enough. Fair enough.
Yep. And that is a Kenny Wallace throwback that's on his tail right there in that Stacker 2 machine.
Checking out the 15 of Michael Hagstrom right now, as that's an old Ricky Rudd scheme.
Yes, Ricky Rudd drove that, as well as Jeff Bodine. Jeff Bodine, I think, ran that scheme in its earlier days. I think he got a dub over at Watkins Glen, his home track. And then Ricky Rudd, when he drove it, it was still Motorcraft on the car, and then it started getting a little bit of black and yellow stripes along the side of it, and kind of modernized it. But yeah, Michael Hagstrom actually was kind enough to get that car on a next gen for this event, so that was really cool of him to do that. AJ Green in that 91 machine as well, he did a lot of work to get that one looking the way it does. That one is actually a 29 Jerry Nadeau car.
I see this.
But he did a fantastic job getting that with his assigned car number on the side of it. And then that 44 car that passed as well, that's your Daytona 500 winner, Francisco Villarreal, out of Westlaco, Texas, driving that Kyle Petty Hot Wheels throwback there. So that's...
I remember that car. I do
complete with the
car.
red wheels and all. Look at that.
I see this. Good on you, sir. Is he starting to roll it down pit road now?
Yeah. So there are just some really fun ones. Oh, that you got to check out that 24 DuPont.
I did see that.
Yeah, the DuPont.
We were looking at that
Star
earlier.
Wars.
Yep.
Yep. Of course, the number 5 Kellogg's Tony the Tiger car is an iconic car as well. I believe once Emily Urias's car loads up, it will be the Kodak machine.
It is. It is. I
Okay.
did see that earlier.
And
there
are you
she is.
anything for the 31? Just to double check. I think he's having connection issues, so it's possible.
31 Sky McGurk.
I see him.
I see him, but I don't see a paint scheme.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's having connection issues. He was blinking in and out pretty bad. But checking out the point standings coming into this, guys.
Yeah, good idea.
And the weather as well.
We will do that. Right now, current point standings, it's still a Trackhouse 1-3 now, as Curtis Kelly did move up in points last week. AJ Green, though, still a monster of a lead. 12 points. Not insurmountable, but definitely a little bit of breathing room for the 91 right now, as Curtis Kelly in the 45 currently sitting second in points. Colin Forrester right on his tail, about 10 points back, 11 points back, actually. I can math tonight, I promise, folks. James Bowles, the rookie, currently sits fourth in points, only 1 point out of the podium. And Brian Chu rounds out our top 5 as we currently sit only 4 markers back off of James. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Marcus Hagman, your defending series champion, in 7th. Steven Sear, Alex Weigert, and Mike Iskandar running out your top 10. This is probably one of the strongest seasons so far for Iskandar in quite a bit.
Yeah, agree. It's been some very great, consistent performances. I mean, he shows that what you need is consistent finishes, consistent just being there. You don't necessarily need to be in and around the top 10. He's had a top 10, which in fact matches Taylor Butcher Benjamin, weirdly enough.
Well,
But,
if we do think back to last season, the points championship was won without a victory.
Yes, that's correct. And I mean, I think it's more just consistency, like Jason was saying, as well as showing up every week has a lot to do with it.
That's the biggest factor.
Yeah, that's the biggest factor. But going back to Iskandar, he has 2 very fantastic teammates as well that are skilled. I'm sure he's picked up a few tips and tricks from them, as teammates should share that type of information. And I think Eskandar is going to have a much better season than last just because of his teammates alone and having somebody out there to work with. But I'll let you guys finish up that and get to the weather. I'm going to have to get into the driver's meeting. So good luck, guys, and we'll hopefully connect later on.
Good luck, Rhea.
Thank you.
As we are going to take a look at tonight's weather, 84-degree ambient air temperature, 64% relative humidity under cloudy skies, 8-mile-an-hour wind out of the west, which means they're going to be getting a headwind down the front straightaway and a tailwind down the back straightaway, and it's going to be crosswinds in the corners. That could get a little sketchy here tonight, Jason.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, especially with such a such a tight line that you want to be running in here. There's a reason that I kept hitting the wall during my practice sessions because I like to do a bit of practice to drive before these broadcasts, and
good idea.
I can stay out that outside wall.
Well, looking up at the starting grid tonight, AJ Green, your points leader, via that little factor, going to be starting up on the pole. Curtis Kelly joins him in row 1. Colin Forrester and James Bowles in row 2. Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Brian Chu make up row 3. Row 4 is going to go to Marcus Hagman and Steven Sear, with Derek Cook and Alex Weigert in row number 5. Row 6 is going to give us Adam Duff and the aforementioned Mike Iskandar. Excuse me. Row 7 goes to Mark Hanna and Charles Robertson, Rhea Ferris and Skylar Carnes in row number 8. Jason?
And row 9 is going to Tommy Stanley and Brian Treadwell, with Peyton Hubbard and Jason Ricketts rounding out your top 20. Jonas Skoglund and Francisco Villarreal in row number 11, with Casey Tomlinson and JB Banner in row 12. Chad Thernquist and Isaac Wilson going to be in row 13, and rolling off in row 14 is going to be Johnny Castle and Bob Wyckoff. Rounding out your top 30 is going to be Lance Hill and John Hopley, with Chase Harden and Sky McGurk in row 16.
Yes.
Yeah, 16. Row 17 is going to go to Emily Urias and Jeff Weimer, with row 18, Christian Malcharek and Michael Hagstrom. Row math
19.
19, thank you. Goes to Chris V and Jake Banner, and Chris Worrell starting shotgun. He gets a nice view.
He is. So the 39 cars scheduled to roll it here tonight. A couple things of note. 65% fuel fill here tonight, Jason, so just over half a tank, and 6 sets of tires to get it done on a track that is notorious for cheese grating rubber tires.
Yeah, I definitely felt that as well. I only did probably about 15 laps before I decided to face first plant it into a wall because I got frustrated with hitting it so much. But I still felt that my tires were just dying, so tire management is going to be very crucial in this race, in complete contrast to last week.
It is. It definitely is. And, tire management, we preach it every week, but more so here at Darlington because of how you need to run this facility right up next to that outside retaining wall. We've talked about it before when we've come here. The original racing surface, and let me get to a pulled out view. There we are. You can kind of see where the yellow line is in the corners. That's actually where the racing surface was inside of that. They put the banking there to give everybody a chance to collect the car before hitting. At the time, it was just an Armco barrier. And it only took about half a practice session for the drivers to figure out that if they ran up on the banking, they could carry so much more speed around this place. And Darlington was the first track with progressive banking before progressive banking was cool.
Yeah, I mean, trust the drivers to find the hacky way of getting extra lap time. But yeah, I mean, whoever designed the track really didn't see that coming.
No, they did it for safety more than anything, and then they found out, oh, if we start running up here, we can really fire it off. So that's where they ended up.
When was this track founded? I didn't think safety existed back then.
1954.
I didn't think safety was a word that was in the English dictionary.
Kinda.
Oh. Well, yeah, you learn something new every day, but they are now rolling, Tony.
They are at that as the field working its way down the back straightaway behind the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car. A couple things of note, AJ Green electing to take the inside lane on the initial start. I don't know how well that's going to work for him, and Geico Restart Zone is in effect tonight. So, as the field worked its way into the 3-4 complex, pace car starts to pick up a little bit of speed to pull away. The only thing that's left to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some barbecue because it's time to get it on in the dirty South. Race fans, it's show time!
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag in the air. We already got a couple drivers bailing out to get down to the apron to let other drivers go by as we haul it off into turn number 1. Oi, we got one sideways already.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And that didn't take
Well, that
long
was
at all.
expected.
JB Banner was 8 different kinds of crossed up. Johnny Castle, Jeff Weimer, Michael Hagstrom all catching a piece of that one. Let's take a look at the start again here, as we are keeping an eye on the 34 of Castle. There he is down on the ultra low side. There's the 9 going for a ride. Oi!
Ooh. Yeah, that whole thing started with JB Banner and Chase Harden. There was a bit of netcode contact between the two of them, and it sent JB off spinning, and obviously you're going to try and avoid it. Some people aren't going to see that.
Let's take a look at Michael Hagstrom here. As the 31 is having major connection issues and probably might want to consider
They have disconnected.
just put it on the hauler. The 34 goes around. So we're going to watch this from Johnny Castle one more time. As there you see Castle in the 34, gets down and out of the way. Banner goes sideways. The 4 gets into the 78, and the 10 absolutely nowhere to go, catches a race car to the face.
Yeah.
As we are back live, Jake Banner, Emily Arias, Chris Vanderstricht, all going down pit road. Sky McGurk took the green and then decided to just put it on the hauler. So this should mean a single file restart, being as we did not get a complete lap under green.
It should be. The automatic in-game race control wrote in the chat this caution will have a double file restart, lappers behind the lead lap cars. So
all right, so we're going to rack them, stack them, and try that again.
Yeah. So thinking it's going to be double file, we should find out next time pace car crosses the start finish line in theory, and yeah, we could try that again. We can do that better.
Jason Ricketts talking about Ryan Newman, and yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Jason, and you are correct. He is a Boilermaker, not an Irishman. Talking about Ryan Newman, went to Purdue University. The alma mater of one of our broadcast teammates, Jason, Greg McConey.
Oh, very nice.
Yep. Both of them proud Boilermakers. Both getting their engineering degrees. Just at different times. Go be the GOAT. Welcome to Darlington. You are correct, sir. Definitely welcome to Darlington, especially after that first try at a race start. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat tonight. If you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up. It really does help to share these videos with the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to appear on someone's homepage when they log into their account of, hey, you might like this, or hey, you watched this, you might enjoy watching this race. And if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button and turn on bell notifications. As you know, happy Labor Day weekend, folks. This is only one of 2 more races coming up this week. Or weekend. Is what just happened to the 19?
Something, but pace car is coming through 3 and 4. It looks like we're gonna go green, and they're talking about black flags being cleared. So I don't know.
Well, the 19 just yeeted himself coming out of 2. Pace car is in. Green has the button as he brings him out of turn number 4 and into the Geico restart zone. Green flag in the air. There's the wave. And we are back underway as Green wastes absolutely no time getting up to the high side of things. It's Curtis Kelly and Colin Forrester working with James Bowles up there in the front. Bowles rocking one of the old rusty paint schemes. Down the back straightaway, they come with a good head of steam. Here comes Marcus Hagman, rocking the old Dale Senior Taz scheme on that Camaro tonight. The one of Forrester in the old Steve Park, Dale Earnhardt Incorporated ride. I gotta say, I'm digging it.
There are some great paint schemes on show, and
there absolutely are.
Well, it's probably more recognizable for yourself and other long-time NASCAR fans, but it's also interesting for me to see all of these as well. It's Marcus Hagman running really close to the back of Colin Forrester now.
Oh, we got 2 of them in the wall towards the back. That looked like Derek Cook and Chad Thornquist brushing the wall through 3 and 4. As we're watching the 99 of Mike Iskandar as Jeff Bodine and Jeff Gordon going at it. Tale of 2 Jeffs right there as the 99 driven by Bodine. And right in front of him, the Texas Terry Labonte, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes number 5. 45 of Skylar Carnes looking to the inside of Duff coming down the front straightaway. Hang on to her. Duff not afraid to put it up on the top side. Bangs the wall coming off the corner. And it's going to let the 2 Old Spice cars get around him.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think the wall is just an occupational hazard. The 11's around.
Got to find him first. Stop moving, darn you. There it is.
Caution. It was, yeah.
Let's go back and take a look at this one. There you see the 11.
Yeah. I heard a quote, "Thanks, Mike."
Oh, that happened behind him, too. We're going to go back and take a look at that as well. I believe that was Tommy Stanley. But the 11 tries to pinch it down, gets into the 99. 99, oh! Right into the Geico on the backstretch. And then we are going to go back and take a look at what happened with Tommy Stanley here. Alright, let's go back to here. No, let's go back to here. And then we're going to have to back that up. You know what? Screw it. We're going back to here. So keep your eye on the Perrier 55. He is coming out of 2. Just back end washes out as he was trying to lay the power down, and Rhea bangs the wall as well, completely pancaking the left side of that car. Doesn't look like she has any suspension damage yet, but the caution flag did fly, and that brings us under caution number 2 for the night. Over under that Rhea put up tonight, she said 15, and Jason, you and I both agreed that unfortunately we're probably going to be over tonight.
Yeah. I mean, looking back at the crash we just saw, I think pancaking the left side, at least it's going to match the right side eventually.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I can say about that. But, yeah. Unfortunately, this track just seems like it will have cautions, and we will be sat under caution for quite a while. And I'm not gonna lie, we probably will go to time, but I can happily be surprised.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're watching the 43 of Alex Weigert, one of the original throwback schemes. Of course, if you're driving a 43 and you don't have STP on the door, you can't really call yourself a race fan. One of the most fabled paint schemes in all of motorsport.
That's one I recognize, at least.
Yep. 7-time champion, 200 race wins. Last one coming at Daytona during the Firecracker 400. Actually got to shake the hand of the president at the time, Ronald Reagan. First sitting U.S. president to ever attend a NASCAR race.
Oh, fair enough. But in motorsport in general, is it just something about winning things 7 times and then not being able to get any further? I know 7 times is still a massive achievement, but
Well, I mean, you figure
it almost feels like championships are capped at 7 sometimes.
For drivers, yeah, it does kind of seem
Yeah.
that way. But you get the Richard Petty, Dale Sr., Jimmy Johnson in NASCAR. You've got the Michael in Formula One.
Yeah. And Lewis Hamilton.
And Lewis Hamilton. Wintonhouse in Aussie V8 Supercars with 7 championships there. Yeah, I didn't realize it, but Jason, you're right.
I think the only exception is Rally. I think they have 9-time or something, but I'm not
Rally and drag
not
racing
next,
because
yeah,
John Force is like a 12-time champion there.
fair enough.
So lights are out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car as he's got 4 Chevys behind him. That being AJ Green, Colin Forrester, Curtis Kelly, and Marcus Hagman. Top running Ford right now is the Deuce of James Bowles in the Rusty's Last Ride paint scheme there, down on the low side.
And delayed green.
And
Probably
probably
to get
because
everyone
something
formed up at
just
the back.
happened to the 4. Let's take a look at what happened to Urias here. Not sure. Oh! Well, that's no bueno. That would explain the delayed caution.
Is that just a skill issue?
She was trying to heat the tires up and drop the clutch a little too aggressively. So let's try this again.
That is unfortunately what we like to call a skill issue.
Running out of talent, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm in that same boat.
Oh yeah,
I've crashed coming off a pit road before, numerous times.
yeah. I think we all have. We've all done it.
No, I mean I've eaten the wall trying to get out of my box.
Yes.
As
Same.
the pace car peels on off, AJ Green's going to have the button as they come out of turn number 4. Keep your eye on that white line because that's the marker. Green flag comes back out, and we are back underway. Green, Kelly, Forrester, Hagman, Benjamin sitting right there at the front of this piece. As Kelly looking to the inside of Forrester for second, going to be able to wrestle the spot away from him. Oy. Checking a little bit deeper back in the field. Brian Treadwell going after one. He got sent down the track a little bit there. As the 5 of Steven Sear gets into the wall right in front of him. Those 2 Hendrick teammates is bumping and banging going on behind him. Jason Ricketts getting into it.
Seems like AJ Green's got his strategy all sorted out right now.
Pretty much as Hagman and Weigert and Bowles going after each other. Now here comes Hagman on no, I had it right, Bowles on Weigert. As Hagman putting some pressure on Curtis Kelly in front of those guys. Everybody playing decently nice right now as Mark Hanna goes door to door with the 6 of Isaac Wilson. Wilson driving the old Mark Martin scheme. Oi, Hanna gets into the wall again. Chase Harden's going to slip by. Here comes the 41 of Young Skoglund.
Yep, deciding to back out of that one.
Skoglund driving the old JPM car. Juan Pablo Montoya. Here comes Jeff Weimer to his inside. Rocking another Ricky Rudd paint scheme here tonight. Ricky Rudd being represented on about 3 cars here tonight, I think.
Yeah, Jeff Weimer, who I recently shared a Daytona 24-hour with. So, Jeff, if you're listening to this afterwards, it was good to see you on track. I don't know if you recognize me.
How'd you do?
I was in that annoying GTE.
Of course. GTEs are always annoying.
Ooh, Brian Treadwell. Looks like something's happened to him. That does not look like a healthy front left.
I gotta find him first because he keeps slipping down through the field as he's gone to the pits. Let's go take a look at what did happen. There you see Treadwell. This is the replay, folks. Treadwell coming through 1 and 2 there, onto the back straightaway with a good head of steam.
Oh, never mind, it wasn't the front left.
No, that was a right front into the outside wall. And that right front suspension arm is not attached.
Yeah, it's just he was turning his front left so much to try and get it turned that it looked like that was the one that wasn't attached to me.
Oh yeah, no, you're absolutely right, sir. As he's going to bring that pit side, have to burn his fast repair. Having trouble getting into his pit box, but we are going to go back live as that's Hagman working the inside of the 45 of Kelly. And Hagman unfortunately went a little too low going through 3 and 4, killed all of his momentum. Kelly, the Canadian, right in front of him.
Yellow.
Oh boy.
Jeff Weimer.
Yes, it was. Let's take a look. Oh! Oh my goodness. Let's go back and take a look at what did happen to Weimer. And then we're going to want to keep our eyes on Mark Hanna in the 24 as well. 66 gets into the wall. There's Hannah right in front of Weimer. Side by side coming through 2. They just get into each other. Oy. Weimer's car with a lot of damage, and here it comes. Boom. Good grief.
I was sat there for so long before I got hit.
There you see the 65 get into the wall going through 1 and 2. Hannah on the low side, Weimer on the high side. They just get into each other coming off of 2. Weimer had to chase it down the track. Hannah had to chase it up the track. And we're slowing things down so you can see exactly what did happen here. The 19 goes to the top side, just barely gets by. Here comes Rhea. She goes to the low side. And the 55 guessed wrong. And just completely ripped the front end off both cars.
I'm looking from the cockpit. This looks like an ARCA break to me, unfortunately.
Well, let's go on board with Tommy Stanley. What do you say?
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's obviously obvious in hindsight as to where the 24 is. There's so much to look at when you're trying to avoid joining a caution. But
all right, so he's trying to get up on the throttle. He lifted, but he didn't hit the brakes.
Yeah.
And what would possess him to go to the top side knowing that the low side is open and he's already down there?
I don't know.
What were we talking about earlier about running out of talent?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, I don't mean any slams against Tommy on that one, but you guessed wrong, bud.
He has manually disconnected, as has Emily Urias for completely unrelated reasons. She just couldn't be bothered anymore.
Well, the thing is that I don't know if these drivers realize that they've got a fast repair tonight or not.
I mean, maybe they think they're going to take it and then they're just going to get wrecked again. I mean, this is what, lap 26 of 183? And we're on our third caution?
Yeah.
That is on track for a record.
Yeah.
As much as I don't want to say it.
Yeah, and we still have this year's version of that race coming up.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting.
Pick a hell of a day to stop sniffing glue.
And would you like a not so fun fact?
Okay.
As it has gone so far, our average lap time for this race is over a minute.
Well, considering it's about a minute and a quarter under pacing, yeah. I can see that.
So hopefully, on this restart, our fourth start of the race, we will be a bit cleaner. Joey Manis has also left. So how many cars have left? 1, 2, 3. We're already down 5, unfortunately. That is not a particularly good survival rate to start with, but
not so much.
We will see what happens as the pace car comes through 3 and 4, and AJ Green gets ready to presumably go immediately again and try and run away, because it's been working pretty well for him so far. Let's see what he does, and yeah, absolutely as expected.
Waste absolutely no time.
It ain't broke. But he has actually lost the lead here.
Colin Forrester.
We do have a battle for the lead.
Colin Forrester giving AJ Green all he can handle right now. That's Forrester on the high side. This is the preferred line. Almost, a little bit of contact. New race leader, though, Colin Forrester in the 1. Good head of steam coming down the back straightaways. He's leading that little freight train. 5-car breakaway at the front right now as Alex Weigert now leads the peloton, trying to reel these guys back in. Everybody seems to have calmed down at least a little bit. And just as I say that...
are they inside each other?
They were for a second there. Skylar Carnes in the 43 as Charles Robertson gets by as well. Minga. Comes Lance Hill to the inside in the 23.
Yeah, it felt like it was given an inch and took a mile, but netcode was luckily on our side there.
We are at that as those two Old Spice cars going after each other now. Weigert in 43 continues to backslide just a little bit. Checking back a little bit deeper in the field. There is the Hot Wheels Chevy of Francisco Villarreal. And another Jeff Bodine paint scheme coming up fast on the inside. That is the wild man Chris Worrell driving the QVC7. Originally was planning to drive a replica of Alan Kowicki's Underbird. The only problem is it did not have custom numbers on it, and there's not a sim stamp number that is correct for that car. There's Jason Ricketts in the old Ken Schrader M&M's car. First time you saw M&M's on a NASCAR stock car back in the late 80s or late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, that just looks a bit strange to me, but with me being used to it being on the 18 naturally, as a newer fan.
Yeah, they went over to Joe Gibbs Racing, and Ken Schrader actually went to Schwann's, which is a home delivery service for groceries. Problem on the front stretch. There's Lance Hill and Marcus Hagman getting into it.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back and take a look at this one. Here they are coming off of turn number 4. Oy. Lance Hill misjudged where Hagman was. Hagman gets into the wall, loses a ton of momentum. The good news is he does have a fast repair. The bad news is that car is continuing to lose ground right now, and he is praying for a caution right now. And here we go.
Yeah.
Skylar Carnes makes a move on the 45 of Curtis Kelly. Oy. Colin Forrester chasing it down the track. And Jason, are my eyes deceiving me, or are the lights coming on here at Darlington?
It does look like they are. We're getting towards sunset as Charles Roberson is now making a move on James Bowles, trying to go down his inside. Obviously, Bowles going to have more banking up there, but Roberson able to get that done.
Wisely backing out of it, not wanting to put either car in a bad situation this early. Checking
honestly,
back just outside the top 10. There's Chase Harden in the 66.
I was just going to say, honestly, at this track, you've got to take your overtakes when they come. I mean, it's looking very, very difficult to get past here.
It absolutely can be a nightmare trying to make some headway here at Talladega. Oy.
I don't think we're at Talladega.
Or Darlington, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm still trying to recover from Dropkick Murphys concert last night, folks, so bear with me. There we see Robertson in the 14. Bowles getting his Darlington stripe out of the way early. Jason Ricketts in the 38 trying to make some headway right now as he is all over. Whoa! Well, that was a Code Brown moment for Chase Harden.
looks like he's coming down pit road as well.
He absolutely is. As working lap 39 of 183. He's probably screaming for tires right about now as your race leader sideways off of 2. It's going to open the door for AJ Green to get to his inside. Wow. How did he save that?
With a lot of skill, but unfortunately for Colin Forrester, that's going to put him back down into 3rd from the lead. And now AJ Green and Skylar Carnes going to be battling it out for the lead. I'm sure that Skylar is going to be trying to make a move as soon as possible, to be honest.
Absolutely, and that's an angry pack of wolves behind the one of Forrester as he seems to have burnt the rear tires off that car into the wall, and he cannot lay the power down at all because the back end just wants to step right out on him. It's kind of starting to stack him up behind him. I wonder how much patience the cars behind him are going to show. As here comes Robertson to the inside of Kelly. Thinks better of it. As we're also seeing Skylar Carnes going after AJ Green. That didn't take long at all as Robertson just bombed it going into 3. Picking off the 45, now sets his sights and trying to reel in the 1. As Skylar Carnes was looking to the inside coming off of 4. Bump drafting at Darlington.
That is brave. Yep, so the 45 got loose off the turn. That's how the 14 got past, but looks like Colin Forrester's doing a pretty good job with that car at the moment, despite the tire situation.
Lance Hill was all sorts of sideways coming off of 2 as he was trying to make a move on James Bowles on the inside. Bowles up into the outside retaining wall.
Carnes is around!
Yellow flag is out.
Oh, what happened?
I think there may have been contact between himself and AJ Green. They were battling for the lead.
Safe bet. Here they are coming down the back straightaway. Carnes looks to the inside, going into 3.
Maybe not, actually.
Sends
I think
it.
clean.
And just trying to lay the power down, cannot save it. Boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah, AJ did really well to actually not rear-end Skylar there, so...
Yeah, and the rest of the field did a great job not getting into the 47 either. What just happened to Rhea? Oh, no.
I think coming together with Casey Tomlinson at some point.
Well, let's go back and take a look at a lap prior. There she is having to chase it down the track. She comes back up. Okay. Alright, so here's Rhea coming down the back straightaway. See the 42 right in front of her in the old Davey Allison throwbacks game. Tags the outside wall. Tries to lay the power down coming off of 4. The 42 sends her down to the inside wall and rips the left front suspension off of that Altel number 12. And she can't turn the car, goes right into the outside retaining wall, ripping the right front suspension off the car. Damn. That was a hard hit. And she's still trying to get that car under control, trying to limp it back to pits. And comes down and just bangs the inside wall again. Hopefully she still has her fast repair left.
And no surprises, everyone pits.
Oh, of course. As you would expect.
Yeah, I probably didn't even need to say that, to be fair. That's one of the most obvious things I've said all day, I think. But...
Well, we had a good little stint there under green flag conditions, Jason.
Yeah, it was fairly solid. This is, I believe, our 4th caution of the race. So
you are correct, sir.
We are slowly but surely improving the estimated number of cautions for the race.
And the question is, how many cars are going to be here when we finish?
Honestly, I'm guessing If I want to put a guess in for lead lap, less than 10.
No. Total.
Oh, total finishes. I'm going to go for 16, honestly.
16 cars finishing the race.
Yeah.
I'm a little more optimistic than you are, so I'll take the over on that one. Well, we already got a handful of retirements to speak of so far. Chase Harden, Emily Urias, Tommy Stanley, Chad Thornquist, Sky McGurk, all going back to the motorhome lot. Johnny Castle has been on pit road for the last 25 minutes trying to get that car fixed.
Yeah, I think he's as good as done. I don't know whether he knew he had a fast repair or not.
Well, here we go as lights are out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car. Charles Robertson starting to the outside of your control car, AJ Green. Green taking the inside again. Lance Hill sitting in 5th is plus 24. Your biggest mover, though, is that QVC number 7 on the inside lane there. That is Chris Worrell, currently going to restart in 9th, sitting plus 30.
Great job, especially at Darlington.
Who says you can't pass at Darlington?
Me!
Under most circumstances, I would have to agree with you, because I know I can't. So, pace car is in. Green brings him into the Geico restart zone. Jumps on the loud pedal, and we are back underway. A little bit better of a restart for Colin Forster this time as he goes side by side with Charles Robertson into turn number 1.
Still side by side, Robertson using that progressive banking to good effect, as new tyres going to be feeling very, very nice on all of these cars.
Well, we saw during that last green flag run that Forrester, on the fresh shoes, has some speed in that DEI number 1. It was when the tires wore out that throttle control was at a premium, and he was struggling after they wore all the goodie off the tires.
Yeah, he was, but he showed great control to keep it under him and keep it in a straight line, and still running in 2nd place, so it clearly didn't go that wrong, as we've got 2 very yellow cars battling behind this little pack.
Well, if you're talking about the 9 of JB Banner and the Napa Auto Parts number 9 and the 33 of Christian Malsharek in the Cheerios 33, yeah, they were side by side there for a little bit, as Worrell making a move on Weigert now. That's Weigert on the top side, Worrell on the low side. Worrell continues his climb through the field after not getting the qualifying attempt he was hoping for.
Yeah, Alex definitely not giving that up. He knows how to use the banking to full effect and keeping Chris Worrell behind him, but I wonder if it's a matter of time. The driver of the number 7 is absolutely going for it, as he's also bump drafting here in Darlington.
Why not? If you can make that car in front of you go into the corner a little harder and hotter than they want to, you know, the advantage is going to go to you because you're able to peel off when you want to, and they're not.
Yeah.
Checking back with Francisco Villarreal as he's working to the outside of Malsharek. Now, notably, this is very outside of the Slovakian's wheelhouse, being as, yes, he is a real-world Euro NASCAR driver. The cars are more akin to Xfinity cars, like a cross between an Xfinity car and a super late model, than these next-gen Cup cars. And they don't race ovals, so it's got to be unnerving. And Jason, I'm sure you can attest to this, being as, you know, you're not an oval specialist by any stretch of the imagination. It's got to be unsettling realizing that you have to run right next to that outside wall.
Oh, right. Malsharek showing that he knows the width of that car a lot better than I do. Because, yeah, it is extremely unnerving for someone who's not so used to it, because normally when we're running on the edge of a track, we're running by some grass, and the worst thing that can happen is we touch some grass. Touching a wall tends to be a bit worse.
It absolutely is. We were just watching a little Penske on Penske action there with Taylor Butcher Benjamin getting by his teammate James Bowles, as they are sliding in right behind Curtis Kelly and Charles Robertson. That is your battle for 4th through 7th.
And we've got a battle for 2nd here, as Lance Hill is trying to get past Colin Forrester. There's something with 2 yellow cars battling today. I think the bright colours are attracting to each other or something, as the 23 really on the back of that number 1 car now.
He's
26.
He's putting the pressure on him.
Darlington specialist right here.
Say again?
I think Lance Hill's proving to be a bit of a Darlington specialist right here.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, plus 26, currently sitting in 3rd. But again, your biggest mover is that QVC number 11 of Chris Worrell, mired back in 8th right now. It's currently sitting plus 31. So the lack of qualifying here tonight really shaking this field up. And, it's interesting to see who we know is good at Darlington having to pick their way through the field. As Curtis Kelly and Charles Robertson going after each other. You see Robertson on the top side, Kelly on the low side, as they're still side by side.
Yeah, I think they're going to be holding out for it as long as they possibly can, but Curtis Kelly managing to just about wrangle that position away from the 14, as he's in a bit more trouble as Taylor Butcher Benjamin looking down his inside here. And that is unfortunately another position lost. It seems like when you lose one, you're probably going to lose multiple positions here. That's how it's going so far.
Well, the good news is Robertson currently sitting plus 8. Taylor Butcher Benjamin got back to where he started this race. James Bowles, one of your biggest movers in the wrong direction, currently sitting minus 3, back in 7th, right behind that little fracas that's going on there. As we're going to check back a little bit deeper in the field, as Peyton Hubbard starting to apply a little bit of pressure to the 33 of Mouserek. And right behind him, that is John Hopley and Derek Cope going after each other. Hopley in the 19, I'm cringing as I'm looking at this, because that's...
Oh, yeah.
No, the fact that it's an old... it's an old paint scheme that was on a Dodge.
Right.
And the lettering was what Casey Kane and those guys had on their Evernham Dodges.
That's some wall.
That was Derek Cook just completely flattening out the right side of that car. There goes the Budweiser 50. What the hell's in the 50?
That's a really effective way of rubbing off some sponsors if you don't want them anymore. Colin Forrester's round.
Let's go take a look at that one. And there you see Forrester already sideways coming off a 2.
Oh, didn't hit anything.
I'm sorry, that's a 23.
And kept to the right around.
There they are working their way around the 10, down on the apron. Boy, he's not the only one. There was Rhea Ferris had to chase it down the track too. Forrester, what a save! How did he not hit anything? That's the save of the night right there.
A hell of a lot more skill than what I have.
I definitely would have hit something.
For that question.
So Jason, I'm going to put this on you to try to figure it out. Who is in the 50?
50?
Yeah.
Jake Banner. Why?
Oh, okay, because I couldn't find him.
Okay.
I wasn't. Don't ask. Still recovering concert.
That's
that
fine.
whole thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
As we're going to check back in with a battle just inside the top 10, actually battle for 10th. Jason Ricketts in the 38 has it. Francisco Villarreal wants it. And he's got a pack of angry wolves behind him in the form of the 6 of Isaac Wilson. And Rhea Ferris back there as well, trying to kind of hang with these guys right now.
Yeah, FJ is going to be wanting to make some moves as Isaac Wilson gets a lot of wall behind him. Has now that Hot Wheels livery 44 car up into the top 10. And going to be looking forward.
Battle for third hot and heavy right now is Taylor Butcher Benjamin on the inside of the 45 of Curtis Kelly. Kelly able to keep it wound up, coming through 1 and 2. Using the downhill, coming off sideways for all 3 of them. Good grief. That is 3rd through 6th running stem to stern, and all 4 of them had a moment coming off of turn 2 trying to lay the power down.
Yeah, I think it's going to end badly for someone fairly quickly from here, to be honest. Don't know who, don't know when, but I just have that awful feeling that someone's going to be doing that and they're going to get it slightly wrong.
Checking back with the 18 of Brian Chu as he gets into Jake Banner. Banner has burned the rear tires off that car. Struggling a lot right now, the Bristol, Tennessee native. Not having a good time of it as we speak. Checking back up in 15th, that's Peyton Hubbard and Steven Sear going after each other.
That's a hard hit on the wall for James Bowles. He got a hard hit coming out of turn 2.
Let's go back and take a look.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And just as I say that, we will wait on that one as... Oh,
Isaac
no.
Wilson and the... Well...
Looks like the boss lady got into it. Coming off a 2, the 6 gets into the wall.
Oh, there was no there was something wrong with the suspension piece on that car already, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the hit in turn 2 for Wilson, as soon as I can find him.
Yeah, he slowed down to try and get down to pit road. He was never going to make it, unfortunately, but Rhea wouldn't have known this. There was no message in chat. She would have had to check up.
Let's go back. We're going to go back a lap on the 6. Here he is coming down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Suspension is still on the car. Gets a decent run coming off a 2. Tries to diamond, goes up, bangs the wall, rips the right front suspension off. You can see it wobbling there. Doesn't realize it's broken as he goes into turn number 3 and completely annihilates that car as he's trying to get it slowed down. Rhea doesn't catch it in time and unfortunately gets into the back of him. Not a ton of damage on that Altel number 12, but definitely an intention getter as Isaac Wilson trying to limp that car around still with a ton of right side damage.
Just about got it down to pit road.
Well, we are under caution. We're going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this. Want to thank everybody for joining us. We are live back here at Darlington. Lights are out on the pace car. As Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, the only one to stay out. And we're about to find out what 26 lap newer tires can do for you.
Oof. I imagine quite a lot. I don't think those tires are going to be feeling particularly fresh. And I regret to think what it may do to this field, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
Only one way to find out.
Here we go, Jason. You lead us back.
Yep, Taylor Butch Benjamin is going to have the button for the first time this race.
Green, green.
And leaves it pretty late. And off he goes. And the field following him pretty well. They're going to be looking to pass him pretty soon. But AJ Green and Charles Roberson are fighting over who's going to be the first to get the opportunity. They're right on the back of that 22. Carnage behind them. Has now the 7s trying to get through on the 14. 45's having a look. So many cars stacked up behind each other.
And AJ Green just made it look just that easy coming through 3 and 4, as that is an angry pack of Hornets behind him.
I feel like somehow they're threatening to go 3 wide.
They were thinking about it.
I don't want to think about it.
I would rather slam certain parts of my anatomy into broken sliding glass
we're
door,
doing it.
and they're 3 wide.
We did it for just a second, but we did it.
Bowles wisely backing out of that one. Although it did kill his momentum, as now he's continuing to backslide into the clutches of JB Banner. But right now, up in the front, that's AJ Green, half a second to the good over your biggest mover, Chris Worrell, started 37th tonight as a sub in that QBC number 7. And here we go, some petty on petty crime, as Kyle taking it to Dad.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Crap. Who is it? I don't see it.
Isaac Wilson. Ooh, he does not have a right front again.
Oh boy. Let's take a look at what did happen here to the 6. You see him there on the top side, working on the backside of the 47 of Skylar Carnes.
Oh.
Chases it down the track, coming off a 2, goes to the inside. Oh!
Just flat out goes up into the 19, to be honest.
And Rhea catches a
That's
race
a hit.
car to the face. The 97 catches a race car to the face. Let's watch that one again.
Rhea's not getting a break today, is she?
She is absolutely not. As here he comes to the inside of the 19. Going into 3, just goes up into him. Oy, 24 door bangs the 19. 5 gets through. And Rhea just cannot get down the track enough, as there goes the 27, ripping the front suspension off of that car as well. So Chris Vanderschmidt and Rhea Ferris both catching pieces of that one, unfortunately, as well as the 19 of John Hopley. As we are going to go back live as
Taylor Butcher Benjamin wisely coming down to get some tyres. I think that's the first experiment we've seen, and
it didn't work.
well, we saw how it went. I don't think we'll be seeing it again, because there are no stages to fight for.
Right.
So no reason for anyone to stay out for a stage green-white checker, because there won't be one.
Your points leader, AJ Green, coming into tonight, currently leads the race and showing why he's our points leader for that Trackhouse Racing number 91. I'm digging the Throwback Cartoon Network paint scheme on that car. Lake Speed and why am I drawing a blank? Jimmy Spencer both used to drive the Cartoon Network liveries.
I was going to say, I can't help you there. Sorry to say.
Where's Rio when I need her?
Well, no, not on track. In the pits.
In the pits, trying to get her suspension fixed.
I have a feeling she would have already used her first repair.
Yeah, the last time she got the front suspension taken off her car.
If her luck keeps going like this, I have a feeling we might have a third commentator anytime soon.
Yeah, and, you know, hey, if that's what's got to happen, that's what's got to happen. But
it's been absolutely rotten luck.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely hate to see anything like that happen. But coming up, we do have a nightcap tonight as the Davis Brothers Roofing DBR 250 will be back here at Darlington at 8:20 Eastern Time. Tomorrow night, CleanRacing.net season finale. Again, say it with me, here at Darlington. That'll be Monday night at 8:20 Eastern Time. The Tuesday series looks like we've got a triple header on Tuesday. Rick Mattek Cup Series, round number 8 at Pocono. That'll be an 8:40 Eastern Time start on that one. And then the Monster Energy NASCAR Racing League, the MENRL, will be at round 6 at Martinsville. That'll be an 8:50 Eastern Time start. As the pace car does peel on off, here we go. AJ Green has the button one more time. The highest Chris Worrell's been all night long as they bring him into the Geico restart zone.
Green flag.
Green holds him down a little bit that time, doesn't jump on the loud pedal, stacks him up behind him as Worrell immediately under pressure from the 44, Francisco Villarreal, using the high line though to try to wrestle a third back away from FJ. And we've got side-by-side action behind him as Robertson, Weigert, and Forrester.
No. Don't go 3.
Oy.
They wanted to, just about avoided it.
Luckily, Weigert was smart enough to realize what was going on and backed out of it.
Yep, Forrester looking to make those positions back, but Alex Weigert never the easiest to pass. And honestly, great restart strategy from AJ Green, I think. Never let them know your first move. Never let them know your next move.
Changing it up every time. As battle for 15th, that's Lance Hill and Mikael Hagström going after each other. Hagström into the wall on the top side. Shades of Ricky Rudd. Oy. Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Brian Chu going after each other. As here comes the 99 of Iskandar to the inside. Oy.
Worrell's looking on Curtis Kelly for second place. Down his inside through 3 and 4. There's a very hungry Francisco Villarreal behind them, but going to be 2 by 2 now as Charles Roberson wants the first seat to this battle.
Is it that as they are just going after each other at the front of this piece right now. The 14 of Robertson, the 1 of Forrester have been side by side for the last couple of laps. Oy. Forrester seems to be better through 1 and 2, whereas the 14 of Robertson definitely had an advantage coming through 3 and 4. Everybody's starting to get single filed out, playing a little bit nicer right now. Throw a blanket over your top 10 is here we go again. Forrester to the inside of FJ. Down the front straightaway they come door to door, hauling off into turn number 1. The 1 wisely backs out of it. think FJ was going to slam the door whether he was clear or not. Oy.
Amazing how close they get to that wall without touching it or sometimes barely grazing it. I mean, I know at least one driver touched it there, but still.
Weigert just sending it in on Robertson there. Now throws the block coming down the front straight. Oh, Alex, don't do it. Comes the 14 looking to the inside, coming off a 2. Thinks better of it. Villarreal to the inside of Kelly going into 3. Full send-it mode for the Hot Wheels ride. Kelly battles back on the top side. The Canadian not giving it up that easy. Almost puts the one of Forrester into the wall. Villarreal was trying to slot back in. Luckily, Forrester had it spotted and was able to lift off just in time. And it looks like something just happened to Bob Wyckoff.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Colin Forrester now able to try and go for a move on Francisco Villarreal as Curtis Kelly is trying something on Chris Worrell, but what happened to Bob Tony?
Well, let's go back and take a look. This is what happened to Wyckoff. There you see him in the 78. The 48 gets into the wall. Wyckoff trying to get by the 48, stacks him up, tried to shoot the gap, and unfortunately the 15 was there. And just like that, Wyckoff has a very wounded ride. As we are going to check back in now, as Curtis Kelly has gotten by Chris Worrell. We'll go back and take a look at that pass for position. There he is working the inside, coming off of 4, down the front straightaway with a good head of steam. No drafting help for either one of them, and just a power move by the 45 to get up in there. Back live now as Worrell starting to fall back into the clutches of Francisco Villarreal. Villarreal gives him the chrome horn going into 1.
Worrell did say on the voice chat, the in-game chat that the drivers share, he said that he wasn't going to be too aggressive on this restart, and that if Curtis Kelly wanted to get through, he wouldn't fight it all that much. Not sure whether that's going to be the same for relinquishing the 3rd place spot.
We're checking back with this battle for 9th right there, 8th, 9th, and 10th right now. Oy. Actually, that's 7th through 9th, I should say. Going back up towards the front.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh boy.
It's
It's like Mark Hanna. Jeff Weimer. Oh boy, what happened, Jeff?
Oh, that's a big pack. That's, yeah.
Up on the top side, you can see Hanna on the low side. Hanna is a lap car at this point, and Weimer tried to shoot the gap to 20, absolutely nowhere to go. So Peyton Hubbard gets put into the wall, and that is a very, very wounded tide ride for Weimer, and I think he's probably going to spend an extended stay on pit road right now, because I think he's already burned his fast repair.
Yeah, he tried to shoot a gap, but unfortunately ended up not existing
And
just as he tried to go into it.
Interesting strategies here, as so far only 3 cars have decided to stay out. Make that 4 now, of Curtis Kelly, Chris Worrell, Christian Malsharek, and Jason Ricketts. Everybody else going down pit road. Skoglund, Chu, and Jake Banner all stay out as well. Apparently they didn't learn the lesson that was learned earlier.
I mean, maybe not, but I can't help but think that maybe are they burning tires too early? We are just halfway through, and they're on to their 4th set. The guys that are pitting this time. In fact, no, AJ Green's onto his third. That's impressive. Oh no, most of them are. No.
Most of them are
set.
on their third. Jake Banner has already been down pit road 4 times.
Third pit stop, fourth set. Yeah,
Right.
because they get 6 sets total.
Correct. So the set that they started the race on, which was supposed to be the set they qualified on, but qualifying did get rained out.
Yeah.
So
And
the
then
set they
sets
started
2,
the
3,
race on,
4.
and then laying 5 in the pits.
Yeah.
If these guys
So-
up front were focusing on saving tires and not overdriving their cars, and that's probably why Worrell didn't put up a big fight to Kelly.
Yeah.
Because all it was going to do was just hinder both of them moving forward.
Man knows how to save a tire. I mean,
Oh yeah, no,
he's yeah.
I've seen it time and time
proven
again
before.
out of Worrell in other series that he competes in. One of the best in sim racing on how to save equipment.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting because these guys who pitted this time are only going to have 2 more sets to pit onto. We are halfway on laps, just over, so it looks like we will make it on laps rather than time, although it'll be close.
Now, this is only our 6th caution.
Yes?
Yeah, this is only our 6th
Oh.
caution.
I didn't know whether I updated my count or not.
7th caution, sorry. Let me take a look
Okay,
at
I
that.
didn't update
7th
my
caution.
count.
7th caution.
There you go.
Yeah, I had to bring up the tower to tell me if I was wrong. And I was wrong.
Yeah. It's gonna be an interesting one, tires wise and time wise. I think with less and less cars competitive, I think we're gonna have less crashes because less chance of getting together with less cars on the field. But
Well, I mean, we currently have 23 left on the lead lap.
it's pretty good going, to be fair.
With
I was being quite negative at the start of the race, I must admit. But,
30 cars
here we
still
go.
running. Johnny Castle, though, has been on pit road for almost an hour.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's not going to change very much, but pace car is now off. And we are ready to get this one underway once again. Curtis Kelly with the button, waiting quite a while and then getting going.
He jumps
Good
on the loud
restart.
pedal. Worrell able to get a better restart than was the 38 of Ricketts. Of Malsharek. As Malsharek, that's an angry wolf pack behind him as they've all got fresher tires. And around goes the 41.
Oh dear. Hold it together. He's held it, so we're not going to get a caution for him. But I would not want to be Christian Malcharek right now. There's a lot of cars behind him that are looking to get past. He's staying high. He's had 2 around him, 3 around him in this turn alone. He's hit the wall as well twice.
Oh boy.
Not going off that 33 at the moment, as he's being freight trained as much as you can here.
Something happened to Lance Hill as well. As he's back underway. And you see Taylor Butcher Benjamin in the double deuce getting all sorts of pressure from Alex Weigert right now. That is your battle for 7th and 8th. Malsharek started up towards the front. It says plus 24. The only problem is he's currently back in 12th. As battle for the lead as Chris Worrell wrestles it away from the 45 of Kelly. Worrell knows it's go time. He does not want to be the first one to have to deal with Jason Ricketts. Jason Ricketts also on the older tires, as is Brian
AJ
Chu
Green.
in the 18. Chu doing what he can to try to hold off AJ Green.
No, he moved out the way. He knows that's not his fight, and just trying to stay clean in that car, and fair enough to him.
Now, if he can slot in behind Francisco Villarreal, he should be okay.
Yeah, AJ Green is absolutely moving right now, and he's going to try and dispatch of these three as quickly as he possibly can.
And that he is, as Ricketts, Kelly, and Worrell all stayed out. Here comes Green to the inside. Oy. 55 starting to get a little tail happy coming through the corner. Down the front straightaway they come. How is Kelly able to hang on like he is on those older tires? I would have thought that, and there it is. There's the pass finally made. Took him 2 laps to do it, but AJ Green finally did get by. Oy! Ricketts into the wall hard off of 2. Looks like everything's still attached, but he is off pace right now and kind of stacked him up behind him. As Weigert looking to the inside, the 1 of Forrester looking to the inside of the 14 of Robertson. AJ Green has gotten by Curtis Kelly. Is Kelly now under pressure from Francisco Villarreal with this battle for the lead? Is Ferris getting down out of the way? Worrell doing what he can to keep that Cartoon Network 91 behind him. It's pretty much academic at this point. Is just a better run going into turn number 1. AJ Green back to the point, but hats off to Chris Worrell for hanging on as long as he did.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeoman's work right there.
Must have started at least something in those tires somehow.
And
he's going
to be one of the ones in the catbird seat as this race wears on. Is 3 wide down the front straightaway.
This isn't a good idea, folks.
Oy. Kelly into the wall.
Got away with it lightly that time as Alex Wegger and Colin Forrest are both making their way.
And we're 3 wide again.
Kelly. I regret to think how many times this is going to happen.
Well, 47 of Skylar Carnes was sending it, and...
Oh, no contact with the 3. Hard into the wall for the 45.
Looks like all the suspension arms are still connected to that, but he probably bent one of them. So now Skylar Carnes working to the outside of Kelly. Again, this is a battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th. And for that matter, 11th, as here comes the 22 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin as well. Kelly trapped up on that high side, not making anything happen, as Chris Worrell falling back into the clutches of Francisco Villarreal in that Hot Wheels number 44 as the 48 coming back out on track. That's Brian Treadwell not having a good night. Worrell sideways through 1 and 2.
FJ trying to come round his outside, and Colin Forrester's going to try and follow him through.
Forrester was thinking about making it 3 wide there for a second.
Yeah, just like he did previously, but never mind. At that, we got away with that one, and he got past cleanly here as well. So no harm done at all. But we're all knowing that Wegger hard into the wall behind them,
and Wegger, that's suspension damage. That right front is not attached, and we are under caution.
Number
I think 8. It might be for Curtis Kelly from what it looks like. Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, very.
Yes, yeah. It is. We're going to go back and take a look at the previous lap here. This is Kelly going into 1 as the double deuce of Taylor Butcher Benjamin right there with him. Coming through 2, bangs the wall. And there it is. Rips the suspension complete. Oh! That's what it was.
I was going to ask where that damage came from.
Yep. the 5 guessed wrong, and
There.
Steven Sear unfortunately took a race car to the teeth. And as you would expect, want to take a guess who's coming down pit road?
Is it Chris Worrell, Taylor Bush Benjamin, Jason Ricketts, Brian Chu, Christian Marsh, Eric, and Derek Cook?
Yeah, all the guys that didn't pit under the previous caution.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
Do want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat here tonight. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action. As we have racing 7 nights a week on the channel now, Jason, and a series on Thursday that I know all 3 of us that are in the booth for that one very much looking forward to. Round number 2 of the let me make sure I say this right. At least I hope I'm saying this right.
I'll let you have a go.
The Svenska iRacing Ligan, round number 2 at Road Atlanta.
That'll do.
Very much looking forward to that one on Thursday, as that is a 1:50 Eastern Time start. But again, 7 nights a week. And Jason, I don't know if you saw it last night, but Frank and I were wondering where 16 weeks had gone, as we did bring a close to the first Sim Racing Media Super Late Model AI Series season finale last night from Five Flags. And if you didn't see that, what a points battle we saw going into the final race. There were 6 cars mathematically still in it.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a great race.
Yeah, definitely recommended to go and watch that after this one finishes then.
And
I mean,
did you hear what season
bed,
2 is going to bring to the AI series?
V8 supercars now.
Yes, we are going down under, and we're going to go to a picnic with a bunch of Holden and Ford fans, and a fight's going to break out. Oh wait, no, we went to a fight and a race broke out. That's what it was.
Yeah. Just so long as all the drivers get a VB long neck down them before the race, no worries, mate.
Absolutely. So, AJ Green, Francisco Villarreal, Colin Forrester, Charles Robertson, Marcus Hagman, James Bowles, Adam Duff, JB Banner, Lance Hill, and winning the battle off pit road, Chris Worrell, going to start back in 10th.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be a bit less dramatic than the last restart, tyre-wise, but it's still going to show.
Yeah. 16 laps is 16 laps.
Yeah.
Especially with as hard as these guys were running for those 16 laps. But AJ Green does have the button as the lights go out on the pace car, coming down the back straightaway. And again, beautiful paint schemes here tonight. Those of you watching in the live chat, let us know which one is your favorite scheme tonight. You know, we've tried to show everybody, but let us know which scheme really brings back memories for you, or if it's your first time seeing it, going, hey, that's a sharp car. As the pace car does peel off, AJ Green has the button, leads them into the Geico restart zone. Keep your eye on the white line. Into the restart zone. Green flag is out. AJ Green pulls the trigger, and we are back underway.
Yep, going early rather than going late. Lovely stuff, as it looks like Marcus Hagman running the inside of Francisco Villarreal. Roberson's going to try and follow through. Not quite going to happen. James Bowles now to the inside of Roberson. Battle for the lead as well. Colin Forrester going through on AJ Green.
Forrester just sent it going into
That's
3.
not done though. Yeah, that battle doesn't look to be over. Not quite yet.
It's not, as Forrester rocking the old Steve Park paint scheme, and kind of fitting because Park did win here in that car.
Maybe a good omen then, but Marcus Hagman looking to join this fight to make it a three-way battle for the lead of this race. As we go through, what is that, 70 to go.
Pretty much. Hagman looking to really kickstart his season, back into gear. What was that all about? As Lance Hill, all sorts of sideways. The 16 is Adam Duff.
I don't know, but I know we're side by side for the lead once again. AJ Green trying to take it back, but Colin Forrester, lovely defense on the outside, using that progressive banking to his advantage very, very nicely.
But this is something we saw in that first long green flag run that we had, as we're going to check back with the man on the freshest tires in the top 10 right now. That's Chris Worrell, wrestling the spot away from Robertson, already up into 6th after restarting in 10th. But, this is something we saw out of Forrester in the early going. He got out in front, and then after about 15 or so laps in the lead, the back end was really ornery in that car, and he was lucky to keep it under him.
Yeah, hopefully he's learned from that experience, and into the wall a bit actually for him. And he'll be hopefully saving those tires a little bit more.
There we see it a little sketchy coming off of 4.
Yep, gonna have to block that so that the 91 doesn't find his way around his outside, because that's definitely going to be preferred now.
Forrester, Green, Hagman, Villarreal, Bowles, Worrell. As Worrell looking to the inside of Bowles, sends it going into 3. Does get the clear as the 44 of Villarreal gets into the wall going into 3. That's going to kill his momentum, allow Worrell to get to his inside. Down the front straightaway they come, drag race going into turn number 3. Worrell on the low side, Villarreal on the high side. Villarreal does not put up much of a battle.
Well, if the guy behind you got fresh tires, at that point, like, woof, loose.
Oy vey. Throw a blanket over your top 3 right now.
AJ into the wall.
Green caught the wall coming off of 4 as we just caught that. As Hagman looks to the inside going into 1, wrestles the spot away very easily. Green trying to get back up to speed and get the momentum back. And that's the biggest thing about this track, is it's really momentum based, and you don't realize it till you're trying to race in it. As Worrell completely reeled these guys back in with the tire advantage. And the question is, what does he have for your top 3? As you see Worrell back there, the Suffolk, Virginia native, the 4th car in that little freight train, as Forrester's starting to put a little bit of a gap on Hagman and company.
Yep, he is, and it's starting to... Oh, that's very loose as Worrell's going to go for a move down the inside. I'll make my point slightly later then, as Worrell's going down the inside of maybe 2 cars at the same time. He's going to look against Hagman as well, although momentum's not going to be on his side from the inside lane, but he's going to be able to run it in here. Not quite. He's going to have to settle behind for now, but I was going to say that it feels quite ironic how you were explaining how the progressive banking came about earlier. It feels quite ironic that it's one little mistake and you're in the wall now, as Marcus Hagman just found out, as Chris Worrell is now past him.
Well, I mean, it used to be a thing back in the day that, they called it the Darlington stripe because you weren't going fast enough if you didn't lay that rear bumper and quarter panel into the wall. As the one sideways Worrell back to the lead.
Well, that sure was the rear bumper and quarter panel into the wall. Just as displayed.
Speak it into fruition. Checking back here with Duff and Robertson as they're going door to door. Ooh, Duff was all sorts of sideways coming off of 4 that time. He's going to hemorrhage spots as here comes Christian Malsharek.
was so close to Marcus Hagman being around. Oh, might still happen. Not quite.
Benjamin just
Colin
got into
Forrester.
Forrester coming off a 2.
Yeah. All getting all kinds of sketchy up in the top 5 at the moment. As I don't think Colin Forrester's car is going to be too happy. James Bowles' car is not happy at all at the moment, as Alex Weggett trying to make his way through on the fresher tyres, though they're not. Those tyres even aren't going to be feeling particularly brilliant at this time. Keep it together.
Good saves there, as here comes Taylor Butcher Benjamin on defending series champion Hagman. Hagman into the wall through 3 and 4. Butcher Benjamin on the fresher shoes. So we've got Ford, Chevy, Ford, Chevy, 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 Ford, Chevy. Highest running non-domestic brand is going to be that 23 of Lance Hill. There he is on the high side working on Charles Robertson.
Marcus Hagman is going to have a pancake on his right side by the time we're done with this race, I think.
Well, I mean, the good news is with this car, it's a carbon fiber body. It's not sheet metal like they used to be. So you don't bend them. They do have some spring to them, but you can see a little bit of damage on the right rear quarter panel of that GM Goodwrench number 20 or number 3. Whoa!
Ooh, something's happening behind. Going to be a caution for that one, surely.
I don't think so.
Did they keep it in a straight line, both of them?
It was synchronized spinning, but
okay.
Yeah. They both
I'm
kept
happy
it
with that.
pointed in the right direction, as the 23 really down off pace now. That was Lance Hill getting it all wrong. So now your highest running Toyota is going to be this man, the second M&M's car in line, Brian Chu. Christian Malshrick trying to make a move on Skylar Carnes right now, not making it happen as Carnes using the outer lane to his advantage. Malshrick dives down as Taylor Butcher Benjamin has gotten by AJ Green for second now.
Yep, he just used his tire advantage to make a lap-long move down the inside on AJ, and I'm sure maybe that favour will be returned at some point once they're on equal footing with their rubber. But lovely little battle for 8th place, potting up here as FJ's having to do some defending now.
Francisco Villarreal, Skylar Carnes, Christian Malshrick, Charles Robertson, all right there, as is Adam Duff in the 16.
Oh, that's hard wall hit.
2 minutes boarding is.
Carnes is round.
Carnes is around, down on the apron.
Off the racing surface.
Well off the racing surface, so we do stay green. Let's go back and take a look at what did happen there.
He's jumped to pits.
Villarreal and Carnes running stem to stern. You see him there coming down the back straightaway right at you. Villarreal looks like he may have gotten into the wall. Yes, he did, and Carnes just overcooked it. Missed his braking point. Hip checking Villarreal, and around goes the 47. As we are going to check back in now with the 2 of James Bowles. There he is, working the back bumper of defending series champion Marcus Hagman.
Oof.
The 2 goes into the wall through 1 and 2.
Yeah, not for much longer.
Or 3 and 4, I mean.
Hit that wall too often.
Yeah, you don't want to do that too often because it'll bend the suspension arms. AJ Green and Alex Weigert going after each other. Weigert with the tire advantage, though by this time I dare say those tires are pretty much evened out. But Weigert on a charge. Currently sitting +6. AJ Green -2.
Ooh.
As Green gets into the wall through 3 and 4.
The wall just feels like an inevitability of life now.
Pretty much.
As AJ Green holding on very nicely against Alex Weggett. Weggett technically having the tyre advantage, but bear in mind that his tyres are also over 20 laps old, so it's not like they're going to have much goodie left on them anyway.
Now, Jason, you like doing weird things in the iRacing server, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you like a challenge?
I like me a challenge so now and then.
Okay.
I've driven a GTE.
Do you
That's a
own the
challenge.
Lotus 49?
No.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You're a proud Englishman, and
Yes,
you don't
well,
own the car that Graham Hill took to victory.
Correct.
You need to get yourself that car and bring it here.
Interesting.
One of the most intense driving experiences you can have in the iRacing servers.
I feel like a modern F1 car would be interesting around here as well.
If you're gonna do it in the Lotus 30. Was it 31 or Williams FW 31?
Yeah.
Because there's not enough time to get the KERS system to regenerate here with the other two.
I mean, it makes sense. You're not going to be braking.
Right. The other thing too is, again, with the 49, throw the Indy setup in it and take it to Talladega.
Interesting.
Very fun. Very fun. Meanwhile, back up at the front of this piece, Chris Worrell has carved himself out a 2-second gap over Taylor Butcher Benjamin. There we see Worrell. There we see Benjamin. About half a straightaway back from him. And he's 4 seconds to the good over this battle for third with AJ Green and Alex Weigert.
Yeah, some nice gaps for them, and it's going to be a good fail-safe in case they get a bit of a wall hit, because, well, they probably will at some point. And obviously coming into lap traffic now, it's could be a challenge, so it's nice to have a bit of a gap. But Tony, have you seen what they're adding in the new season in terms of damage model changes?
I have not, unfortunately. I haven't had a chance to read that yet.
So currently, the damage model doesn't have sort of progressive damage, where if you keep hitting one spot, it'll do more and more damage until it eventually fails.
Okay.
We're getting that.
Nice.
So these little wall taps aren't doing too much now, apart from pancaking, and that could be very bad for suspension on what we're going to have in Season 4.
Oh, it absolutely can be. Oh, speaking of wall taps, the 45 goes up into the wall again.
I do not pick this pack around Christian Malsharik.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Who was it? I don't have it. Maybe I do.
Oh, Alex Weggett slow. It looks like AJ Green tapped the wall. Alex Weggett wasn't ready for it because AJ Green had to check up to avoid getting a massive wall hit.
Oh, there it is.
And
yep, Weigert was completely sideways.
Yeah.
And that brought out the caution. Let's watch that again. There you see Green right in front of him. Weigert missed his braking point going into 3. And in hockey, we would refer to that as 2 minutes boarding. And guess what? Wholesale pit stops.
Naturally.
As you do.
Crazy to not.
Yeah.
An absolute crazy man if you don't pit under this yellow.
And here's the thing, Jason.
Watch someone not pit.
This could be the money stop.
Yeah, not wrong. Not wrong at all. They can definitely make it on fuel from here. Whether you'd want to make it on tyres or not, I don't know.
Well, I mean, we
Some
went
of these
40.
guys aren't going to have a choice.
Well, we went 45 laps in the initial green flag hit. There's 44 laps left in the race.
Lance Hill hasn't pit in this caution yet.
He just got back on the lead lap. He was the free pass car.
I see. I was going to say, don't make me call you a crazy man, because I will not hesitate.
I may be crazy, but I'm not stupid.
Okay, yeah, he's coming in now. That's good. That's good. But it's going to be interesting on tyres, actually, if we get a late caution, because people who have been down 5 times and presumably taken tyres each time, Chris Worrell, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Alex Weggett, Adam Duff's been down 6 times,
Well,
Brian Chu,
here's
Derek
the
Cook's
thing.
been down 7.
Worrell did not take tires all 5 times.
No, I wouldn't have expected him to. I don't think Butcher Benjamin would have done either, to be honest. Nor Weggett.
Green,
Maybe some of the other guys. But
Green
I
and
think,
Forrester are only down pit road for their 4th time.
yeah,
So they
I
still have a
think-
set laying, regardless.
Yeah. they guaranteed have a set. I think everyone who is in contention has a set still, but it's going to be something that we're going to find out. I think winner for the amount of times coming down pit road and still being competitive, Chris V has been down 9 times and he's just sitting outside the top 10.
Well, a couple of those times were because of cosmetic damage. He had the front end of that car completely ripped off earlier.
Yeah. And we've also got the question,
Yes.
who has fast repair left just in case?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah, I think we may get a delayed green here by the looks of things. This may take a little longer to form up properly at the back, but
Yeah, that's a definite
I could
maybe
be
on
proven
that
wrong.
one. It would be wise to extend this caution because we've got cars already at 100.5 that are getting ready to cold trickle the field, like those
Yeah,
wave
they're
around cars that we're trying to get back on the lead lap, which currently we're showing 19 on the lead lap.
That is good.
Worrell has the button as the pace car peels off. We're going back green, baby.
No, the guys at the back are being sensible.
Worrell brings them into the Geico restart zone. Jumps on the loud pedal pretty early. The one of Forrester able to go with him. Now the question is, we know Forrester has the short run speed. We know Worrell has the long run speed. What are we going to see here? Oy. Everybody getting pretty single filed out already.
That's the 41, is now lacking some sort of suspension piece. Jonas Skoglund hard into the inside wall. He's going to have to try and bring that down pit road. I'm not sure if he notices quite yet.
I don't think
he's
he
missed a
realizes
suspension
it.
piece.
I mean, the car's got to be ornery to drive. But yeah,
Realize at some point.
that is definitely, we're going to go back and take a look at that one. Here we are on the restart. Keep your eye on the target 41 on the inside. 42
He's
gets into the
realized
wall.
once.
Here's Skoglund coming off a 2. Ooh, hip check from the 48. Good grief. Yeah, that was a shot, Jason.
Yeah. He has realized and is coming into the pits now. Oh, that's hard into the wall for James Bowles as we presumably come back live.
Yeah, we just caught the tail end of that.
Yeah. Colin Forrester looking pretty feisty on the back of Chris Worrell. The question is, do you want to fight him? You can just sort of sit behind if you can stay there. It's not that bad.
If I was
Although you might
Worrell,
not
I
want
would.
the dirty air.
Yeah, if I was Worrell, I would let Forrester go, knowing that he has burned his rear tires off after about 20 laps. And then you can just reel him back in. As Taylor Butcher Benjamin looking to Christian Malsharek was looking to the inside of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. So, may have taken him a couple laps to get it sorted out. Malsharek currently sitting plus 29 in that Cheerios number 33. The old Clint Boyer whip.
Yeah, brilliant work from him. We're seeing people we don't normally see fighting through the field because of the lack of qualifying, and those people who normally fight up through the field have sort of started where they fight up to. So it's not necessarily been as impressive looking for those guys, but it's still been pretty impressive races from a lot of drivers nonetheless.
Well, it's even more impressive when you figure that Malsharek's never really been on a track like this in his real-world racing career. Wasn't quite pushing the envelope early going, wanted to make sure he still had a car under him, as James Bowles just set a new race lap record, 29.52.
That he did. We are going for it in the late stages. Still not late stages of the race, but we are sure getting there as we pass through lap 150 now. Coming into lap 151.
We're still watching this battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th with Scandinavian Alex Weigert, Swede, Christian Malsharek out of Slovakia, and Taylor Butcher Benjamin, the American, as they've got about a second advantage over the Canadian, the lone Canadian in the field, Adam Duff.
Yeah, it's an international affair here in the top 10 as Taylor Butcher Benjamin getting past Christian Malsharek now as he's tapped the wall a couple times this lap, and that's allowed the momentum to go Taylor BB's way.
Battle for the lead.
There is absolutely, as James Bowles is catching in on this group. Colin Forrester not looking particularly feisty yet. He's recognizing that he can just stay behind. Chris Worrell probably wouldn't fight it if he tried to go for a move, but I don't think there is too much point. But what is James Bowles going to throw into this equation, as it looks like Taylor Butcher Benjamin's trying to get past Alex Weigert here.
He is, but the one car you're going to want to keep an eye on is that Cartoon Network number 91 of your current points leader, AJ Green. He's letting those three in front of him get away, knowing that right now they're just burning up their equipment. And with the pressure that Forrester is applying to Worrell, Worrell's probably going a little bit harder of a pace than he really would like to at this time, knowing that, you know, we're still 30 laps to go.
Yeah, maybe so. It looks like James Bowles is absolutely pushing the envelope already as he got into the outside wall on exit of 2. So
He was flirting with disaster there, that's for darn sure.
yeah.
The rest of the field pretty strung out right now. Mike Iskandar just went down pit road.
Interesting. He didn't pit under last caution, I think.
That's what it was.
Wall again for James Bowles.
Walls again for James Bowles, as Christian Malsharek now has to deal with the M&M's Toyota Camry of Brian Chu, and Chu's got to worry about JB Banner on him.
There's all loads of battles going on throughout the field now, as we are slowly but surely getting to the end of this race. Time versus laps wise, we are looking now to definitely make it on laps, which is great news.
Right around 30 seconds a lap for these guys. Just under right now, but that'll start to extend. Actually, the last time by, everyone did a 30-second lap. Oi, Bowles still pushing the envelope. That's letting AJ Green reel him back in. As we've got two two-car tangos going on at the front of this piece. Throw a blanket over your top four.
Yep, James is getting on the in-sim chatter to let AJ Green through. That's why it looked pretty easy, knowing that maybe James has just burned his tyres a bit, or whether he thinks he doesn't have the pace to keep up with these three, I don't know, but that's going to be good news for our points leader, who is just going to be watching the 7 and the 1 and just hoping they start battling, though these two ahead are intelligent enough to keep it as they are for now.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, Chris Worrell is one that does know how to save his equipment. You know, does he have short-run pace? Absolutely. Does he have long-run pace? You bet your sweet bippy he does. And as a matter of fact, Jason, you know what I'd love to see is Chris jump into a GT3 car with you and maybe some of the Swedes and, you know, see what could happen in an endurance race.
Probably be a hell of a lot better at saving tyres than I am. I'm more of a fuel save man myself. That looked a bit close on one of the TV cameras with rear Ferris, I have to admit.
Yeah, it was a little close for comfort as there's the 42 down to the inside. So Worrell, Forrester, Green, Bowles, Butcher, Benjamin, your top 5 as we are 24. It'll be 23 to go now at the stripe. Worrell shows the way. Top 3 all kind of within striking distance as Bowles has really fallen off by about 2.5 seconds. But he does have about 1.5 seconds over Taylor Butcher Benjamin, who's got another 2.25 over Alex Weigert in the 43. Back here, this battle still rages on between Duff and Weigert, though, as the 33 Christian Malstrick there, Brian Chu there as well, and JB Banner. 16 sideways coming off of 4.
Getting pretty loose there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this battle start hotting up a lot earlier than our lead battle, though AJ Green now is almost bump drafting Colin Forrester down into turns 3 and 4. So he may start to look for a way around as Forrester is very loose off the turn, so he is going to look. But is he going to be alongside? I think he's just trying to do a bit of unnerving at the moment.
Well, it's what we've seen all race long. We've seen it all race long with Forrester. After about 20 laps, the rear tires on that Pennzoil number 1 are just roached.
Yeah.
And we are going to be 20 to go this time across the stripe. As Green... Worrell blinks there for a second. Green makes it look just that easy off of 4.
Yeah, I think that was the right time to make the move for AJ. I don't think it was would have been a good idea to continue behind Forrester for too much longer. Is there going to be a caution?
I don't know, but Mike Iskandar just got yeeted coming down the backstretch. Let's go ahead and take a look at that again. This is the previous lap coming into turn number 1. There you see Iskandar in the X-Side 99. Up on the top shelf and tries to work his way around the lap car. Hip check coming off of 2. And that is heavy left side suspension damage for Iskandar.
Yeah, he can consider his left side undampened. As 43 and the 16 really going at it for 6th place. As I was saying before that all kicked off, AJ Green really needs to get past Colin Forrester at that point, otherwise Chris Worrell would have been able to pull out a gap. And the 91 just able to keep the number 7 in check a bit as Francisco Villarreal coming into the pits.
Oh, interesting. Baby!
That's interesting as well.
Brian Chu just got sent coming off a turn 2.
Yeah, that seems to be a running theme here in the last few laps.
Good grief. We watched that live as he just clobbered the inside wall and cannot get down pit road. He could not get that car to turn left enough to get it down there.
Ow.
There's now battle for the lead. AJ Green all over the back bumper of Chris Worrell.
Yeah, I've got the stream up on another monitor. It looked like, unfortunately, Brian Chu just ran out of talent a little bit there. I don't think there was a bump from behind, though.
No, he was chasing it. Yeah, no, there was definitely room.
Yeah, Marcus Hagman looks to be coming down pit road as well.
Looks to get his final set of tires.
Stops. Yeah.
Final sets of tires going on for some of these guys. Meanwhile, up at the front, no quarter asked for, no quarter given, is AJ Green and Chris Worrell still battling for the lead. Almost 2 full seconds to the good. Something just happened to Brian Chu as he looks to have had an issue coming off of pit road. Let's go back and take a look there. Oh boy.
5th, rather, actually.
Let's go back and go back live now.
Battle. As Alex Weger's got that position for now, Adam Duff wants it. And unfortunately for James Bowles, it looks like he's going to continue his moves backwards as into the outside wall once again. That's given a run to Lance Hill. Is going to give another one to Christian Malcharik, choosing not to use it for now.
Well, he wasn't quite close enough to push the issue. There's Weigert and Duff still all over each other, as are Worrell and Green. This is your battle for 5th.
Green knows he can afford to wait.
Right.
That's the thing.
And as we're back up towards the front, Green just stalking Worrell right now. 13 to go. It'll be 12 this time, or this next time across the stripe, as there is Chu as he burned his fast repair. Comes out right in front of your race leaders.
Yeah, it's the thing for the guys that very hard in store for James Bowles once again, but it's the thing for the guys that aren't necessarily fighting for the lead immediately, as both Weger and Duff follow each other into the wall. Is that they're going to be making their moves earlier for the chance to make up some more positions in front of them. You don't have that when you're battling for the lead, because obviously you can't go further than that.
Right.
Oh, that's going to be hard into the wall. I don't know who that is.
Nope.
Wyckoff.
Lance Hill just got the Dairy Queen Award.
Oh. And Wyckoff unfortunately not being able to bring it down pit road first time of asking. That seems to be a running theme as well, but Hundley staying down.
You can see the sparks flying off the blaster.
Yeah.
Number 78.
I feel it'd be easy to get a DQ just from 2Xs here.
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
More than your 4Xs at any other track. I mean,
All you got to do is bang the wall 4 times. 8 times.
Yeah, if you hit it any harder than a brush, then you're getting a 2X. They've got a 21X limit here, so 11 strikes and you're out. Ooh, that's not going to be fun for Marcus Hagman.
On the fresh tires, not able to hang on to it. And he is way off pace now. Doesn't look like anything's broken. Well, it is now. Or will be.
As Alex Weger and Adam Duff going at it for the last spot in the top 5. Adam Duff looking round the inside inside doesn't tend to work very well late into a run, and we are 35 laps into the run with, what is it going to be, 8 to go?
8 to go right now is Worrell under heavy pressure from AJ Green. Now the 45 is a lap car. That's Curtis Kelly.
I do kind of hope he stays out of it rather than trying to get back through. He is many laps down.
He is at that.
Never mind. Ooh, there's sparks from AJ Green's car. What's that? Is that just bottoming out?
I think it was bottoming out. I'm hoping that's all it was.
There's more again. He doesn't look particularly slow through the turn. But I haven't seen this before, and he's slightly into the wall. Maybe a concerning sign for him.
He may have burned the tires off that car. Oy.
Ooh, loose.
Oh, yeah, he's chasing it. The tires are roached.
Yeah.
6 to go. It'll be 5 to go next time across the stripe. Chris Worrell shows the way. Battle for third. Hot and heavy right now between those two nuclear bananas. Pennzoil on Pennzoil crime down the front straightaway.
They're threatening to get together. As Colin Forrester can hang it around the outside of the 22. Just about keeping that, and I feel for AJ Green it's going to have to be an absolute drive to get to Chris Worrell now. Chris looks like his tyres are working much better at the moment.
Well, we are 4 to go.
Still fighting for the last podium position here.
They are still side by side. It's Taylor Butcher Benjamin on the inside. Colin Forrester on the top side. Is Green, Benjamin gonna throw the slide job coming off a 2. Forrester looks to cross him over down the back straightaway, slots back in line. Looks to the inside, going into 3. It hasn't worked for anybody as the 22 gets into the wall, pinching up in the middle of the corner. Drag race down the front straightaway. The 1 is sideways.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, there's that battle, but luckily we've got one for 5th.
We do at that as Alex Weigert wants it. Adam Duff has been stalking him for the past 20 laps, trying to figure out what he's got to do to get by the King's ride.
Gonna be very tough for him. Very, very tough.
Brushes the wall coming through the middle of 3 and 4. 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks are in the air for that man who started 38 spots back from where he currently sits. Shotgun on the field. After qualifying got rained out, made the field on owner's points alone. Just barely. White flag in the air this time. He can see it. We are racing back to checkers, Jason.
We are indeed, and unfortunately I'm not looking at the lead. I am looking for this battle for 5th. All it's going to take is Alex Weigert getting loose off of one of the turns. He's got 4 of them remaining now. Adam Duff staying right on the back of him as I believe this race is nearing its completion for our leader. Side by side with the 16 and 43. 16 hard into the wall. 43 losing speed. The 16 wall riding around him. It's going to be a race to the finish. The 16 just lost their suspension.
That gave Weigert the final spot in the top 5. But what a drive we just saw out of Chris Worrell.
Yeah, absolutely. That can't be understated. I mean, he literally couldn't do any better.
Absolutely not. I mean, he started dead last in this field. Yeah. And just slowly and methodically picked his way through all night long. coming home with the victory as he parks it on the front straightaway, and he's going to try to burn those rear tires completely down to the rims.
I'm feeling it's not going to take very long.
Hashtag not wrong.
But yeah, absolutely sensational drive, and Adam Duff confirming in-game chat that he did in fact try the wall ride. He did. It nearly worked out. So close.
And now for the bad news, we don't have Chris Worrell in the Discord server yet.
Yeah, not just yet, though. I do expect he will join eventually.
Well, the good news is, Jason, as soon as I can find him, there he is. I believe you've got our third place finisher with you now.
I do indeed. Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Up 2 positions to get you into the podium positions. Not too bad of a race at Darlington.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, that's for sure. But okay. So yeah, I mean, it's just nothing but, trying to keep the car out of the wall and keep the tires on it and play some cat and mouse of when to take a set and when not to. And I actually had a set still remaining if we had got a caution with like 20 or 15 to go or something. But it's good to, finally get the finish. We've been running well all season, but finally get the result to show for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think pretty much everyone's playing the same game of cat and mouse as you were. From what we were seeing, I think most people still had a set left, but this is your first top 5 of the season, so it's going to be bringing yourself some good momentum, perhaps, going into Kansas next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kansas, that's one of my favorite tracks on here, and last time in this league that I ran at Kansas, I believe I won in the truck series, if I recall. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So, and definitely got to give a shout out to my Penske teammates. James hung on there for a top 8, it looks like, and according to my thing, looks like he had a fastest lap too. And of course, that was fun racing Colin there at the end. Didn't think I was going to be able to run him down. I got too poor of a restart, and then on that short run, I just lost too much ground, and then had to fight my way through everybody. But feels good to come out with the P3.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony, do you have any questions for our third place finisher before we let him loose?
It's finally good to see you put a full race together, Taylor, and not get caught up in everybody else's dumpster fires, as has seemed to have been the case at the previous part of the season. Looking forward, though. Best of luck to you in the chase.
Yeah, appreciate it. See you guys next week.
Yes, sir. So that was our third place finisher. Joining me now, the man that he started on the pole, leading the points still.
Oh, hang on.
You just moved him.
Sorry.
I didn't. There we go. He's back again.
Leading the points, started on pole, ran up front most of the night, just burned the tires off a little too prematurely. AJ Green, all things considered, excuse me, all things considered, can't be too disappointed with a second place finish at the track. Too tough to tame.
No. I technically got the best points of the day of anybody. Chris was subbing for whoever drove the 7.
Right.
But yeah, I had a bad restart, and so I had to come back from like a 2-second gap. So my tires were already a little worn when I caught up to Colin and Chris. I got by Colin and pretty much just had my eyes set on Chris, but I had lap traffic running me not very nicely, and the tires were just getting worn too fast, and I was losing ground instead of gaining.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, AJ, but a good strong run for most of you guys from Trackhouse tonight. There's a couple issues that happened early on, but what a tale of 2 seasons with the Trackhouse team is. Since you joined the ranks, and that team was formed for this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely been a turnaround from what we saw last season out of that team.
Yeah, I is me, Colin, and Mike. We've done a pretty good job. Me and Colin already work together pretty well, and same with Mike. But we just basically consistently top 5. We should lock up the owner's points pretty easily.
Safe bet. But next week we go to something completely different in the mile and a half that is the Kansas Speedway. Your thoughts going into the Midwest during tornado season?
Well, hopefully tornado doesn't go on the track. But it's definitely going to be another close battle between somebody leading and second. It's going to be good battles all around.
All right, AJ, who do you need to thank before we turn you loose to go celebrate a podium with your team?
Shout out to Trackhouse, y'all for broadcasting, and Rhea for putting on the league.
So, again, AJ, congratulations on a podium. We will see you next week at Kansas, sir.
Thank you.
And Jason, I believe you've got the man that did just beat him out tonight, your biggest mover, with you now.
Oh, hey there.
Yeah. Hello, Chris. Last to first, simply put, couldn't have done any better.
Yeah, with a 0x2. I did not expect that.
Really? God, it just gets better.
Wow.
Yeah, that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
What kind of nitrous did you put in your car then?
I can't talk about that on air. I'm sorry.
Solid rocket fuel in the intake manifold.
It felt like that. It was definitely hard to drive there at the end. Colin was pushing it really hard. I feel like, and I just had to drive the tires off of it. And I saw AJ hanging back, saving the tires really well, and he just came out of nowhere and was just right on my tail. I just had to save as much as I could right there, because if I didn't, I knew I was going to lose it. And thankfully, it was like a good 20 laps before he got to me, so that's where the fall off really started happening. And lap cars played a big role there, so I just did the best I could to not spin the tires out of 4, and that helped me out a lot.
Yeah, well, you did a hell of a job at it. And just out of interest, did you have a set left at the end?
Yeah, I had one set left. I had to save one just in case there's a caution there at the end. So, yeah, I'd asked the guys on the radio how many sets they had left, the guys in the top 5, and no one answered me. So I felt pretty good at that point. But, yeah, I was just hoping and praying there wasn't a caution there at the end, because I knew I was going to have to take tires and not take a chance. But I knew most of the field probably didn't have a set left. So I was kind of scared to get a caution there and try to drive through the field, with like 5-10 laps to go. But thankfully it went green the rest of the way, and we had a good long last run. That green flag run was pretty long. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you know if there's any chance of us seeing you in Kansas next week?
Possibly. If anyone needs a sub, I've got the Ford and I've got the Camry, so just holler at me.
Well, they can't get much better. And before we let you go loose and celebrate, who do you need to thank?
First and foremost, my buddy James Lowe. I hope you're listening still. Wouldn't be able to have such a fast car without him. He's a good friend of mine. I appreciate everything he's done for me. Balls Out Racing. There's guys up front for racing hard and clean. My buddy Brian. Rhea for putting on the league and getting me in the car in the last second. I appreciate her a lot. I really wanted to run this race, so when I heard Thornquist was coming, I was kind of bummed that I wasn't going to get a chance to, but thankfully she asked me at the last minute, so really appreciate her asking me. Yeah, just you guys for putting on the broadcast, SRM. Hopefully I'm not missing any sponsors, but just iSNF in general. I had a good time.
Well, congratulations, and hopefully we get to see you and potentially speak to you at Kansas next week.
Yeah, I really like that track, so, if I can get a sub, I'll be there.
Yeah, definitely. Congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, Jason, that puts another one in the books for us tonight here at Kansas, or at Darlington as we go to Kansas next week. we just heard from our top three, Chris Worrell, AJ Green, and Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Colin Forrester, and Alex Weigert, both rounding out your top five. Adam Duff, JB Banner, James Bowles, Christian Malschrick in a surprising top 10 finish. Good race for him. Charles Robertson and Jason Ricketts rounding out your lead lap cars. And I believe you put the lead lap at 8. Did you not?
Yes, I think so.
So we got the over on that one. Derek Cook, Chris Vanderschmidt, Van Maastricht, Steven Sear, Brian Chu rounding out your top 15. Jonas Skoglund, Michael Hagstrom, and Marcus Hagman, top 18. Jeff Weimer and Lance Hill rounding out your top 20, Jason.
Yep, then we've got Francisco Villarreal 18 laps down in 21st, then John Hopley on the same lap as him. Mike Iskandar and Curtis Kelly both 22 down, 23rd and 24th. Then Casey Tomlinson, Rhea Ferris, Bob Wyckoff, Brian Treadwell, Skylar Carnes, and Peyton Hubbard rounding out the top 30. Then we've got Jake Banner, Mark Hanna, Johnny Castle, Isaac Wilson, Chase Harden, Emily Urias, Tommy Stanley, Chad Thurnquist, and Sky McGurk rounding out the race. And I've just looked at the point standings because Rhea does a great job at updating them immediately.
Right.
And I know AJ Green would want wins, but he sure doesn't need them at this point.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's kind of indicative of what we saw last season with Marcus Hagman, led the point series for a good majority of the season and came home with the championship without winning a single race. Could we see second verse same as the first this year with AJ Green leading the Green leading the chorus?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's started every race, so 7 starts, 6 top 5s, and then naturally 6 top 10s along with that.
Oh, there you go.
So it's been an incredible run for him, and Colin Forrester having won 2 races, just slightly less consistent, and it shows the fact that he's 27 points behind. That's a pretty decent gap for the point system that we're running this season.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But it just goes to show you that speed wins races, consistency though wins championships.
Yeah.
But that is going to do it for us tonight here from Darlington. Again, be sure to join us next week for Kansas. Coming up tonight on the channel at 8:20 Eastern Time, we've got the Davis Brothers Roofing 250 from Darlington as part of Sunday Night NASCAR. The CleanRacing.net Truck Series will be back here tomorrow for their Season 12 finale. 8:20 Eastern Time start on that one. Then Tuesday, we've got the doubleheader consisting of the Rick Mattek Cup Series round number 8 from Pocono. That's an 8:40 Eastern Time start there. And the Monster Energy Cup Series as they go to Martinsville, I believe. Yes, they are. Martinsville, that's an 8:50 Eastern Time start there. Thunderclap Stock Car iRacing Series on Wednesday, 8:10 Eastern Time start on that one. And then the quadruple header on Thursday, Jason, triple header on Thursday as we kick things off at 1:50 Eastern Time with the Svenska iRacing Ligan round number 2 from Atlanta in the GT3 cars. And if what we saw 2 weeks ago at the season opener for them, we're in for a treat at the home of Petit Le Mans on Thursday.
Yes, I am very much looking forward to it, and can't come quick enough, honestly.
I dare say one of the most underutilized tracks in all of iRacing right now. But that is going to do it for us here tonight from Darlington. For Ms. Rhea Ferris, for Mr. Jason Softward, this is Tony Trapasso. Reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life this week, whatever you do, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.
Good night.